My brother, let's talk about something that cuts deep. You've been told that women your age should naturally want you that because you're young, full of energy, and trying to figure out your path. Love should be simple. But then reality hits. You see her young, vibrant, beautiful, and she's holding hands with a man old enough to be her father. You wonder, why him? Why not me? That quiet sting in your chest, that silent question that echoes in your mind. What does he have that I don't? I'm here to tell you, it's not just about money, status, or security. It's deeper than that. Women, especially younger women, crave something many young men haven't yet mastered: emotional grounding, purpose, and certainty. They are drawn to men who stand like mountains, steady and unshaken by the storms of life. And sometimes that comes with age, experience, and a certain stillness of spirit. But here's the truth you need to hold on to. You don't have to wait until you're 50 or 60 to command that same respect, that same admiration, that same irresistible pull. You can start becoming that man today. This is not about competing with older men. It's about becoming a man who no longer competes, because he naturally attracts. Let's break down the 6 core reasons why younger women are drawn to older men, and how you can embody those same traits right now. When you hear the word stability, what comes to mind? For most young men, stability sounds boring. It doesn't carry the thrill of spontaneous trips, flashy cars, or wild adventures. But for women, especially younger women, stability is not boring. Stability is safety. Stability is trust. Stability is the quiet assurance that when the storms of life come, the man standing beside them won't collapse. Think about it. Many young men today are still trying to figure themselves out. They bounce from job to job, passion to passion, relationship to relationship. Their emotions rise and fall like waves. They're confident one day and insecure the next. And women feel that. They sense the chaos in your spirit, even if you never say it out loud. Now imagine the opposite. A man who walks into a room and doesn't need to announce himself. He doesn't need to prove that he's important. His calm energy fills the space before he speaks. He knows who he is. He's not rattled by rejection, not easily angered, not desperate for attention. That's what older men often bring to the table, a steadiness that makes women breathe easier in their presence. But here's the truth: most men don't realize a stability is not about age, it's about discipline. You don't need 30 more years of experience to start building it. You can start today by creating routines that anchor your life, by mastering your emotions instead of letting your emotions master you, by keeping your word to others, yes, but especially to yourself. Women watch how you live more than they listen to what you say. If you can't keep your life in order, why would she trust you with hers? If you're constantly chasing drama, drowning in addictions, or running from responsibility, she won't see a partner, she'll see another burden. Stability means showing up consistently, even when it's not exciting. It means saving money instead of blowing it all to impress her for one night. It means thinking long-term instead of reacting short-term. And most of all, stability means being a man who refuses to be shaken by every little storm. Young men, hear me on this: women don't crave chaos, they crave certainty. And if you can build that kind of grounded presence, you won't need to compete with older men. Because true stability, when it's genuine, makes you magnetic. One of the greatest misunderstandings men have about attraction is this: women are not just looking for muscles, money, or good looks. Those things catch the eye, yes, but they don't hold the heart. What holds a woman's heart is a man's ability to handle her emotions and his own with wisdom, patience, and strength. That's emotional maturity, and it is magnetic. See, young men often stumble here. Many lash out when criticized. Many shut down when faced with a difficult conversation. Some explode in anger when rejected, or beg when abandoned. This kind of emotional immaturity pushes women away because it signals instability and insecurity. A woman looks at that and thinks, if he can't handle his own emotions, how can he handle me, or a family, or the pressures of life? Now, compare that to an older man, or any man who has done the inner work. He listens without instantly becoming defensive. He stays calm when emotions run high. He doesn't try to win every argument. He tries to understand. And instead of chasing validation, he gives reassurance. That kind of presence makes a woman feel safe. And safety is one of the deepest currencies of attraction. But here's the good news: emotional maturity isn't reserved for men with gray hair and decades of experience. It is a choice cultivated daily. You build it when you pause before reacting. You build it when you choose patience over anger, when you control your tongue instead of letting words spill out recklessly. You build it by listening, truly listening, without trying to dominate the conversation or prove you're right. Understand this: women are not drawn to men who avoid emotion. They are drawn to men who master it. A man who can stand steady when she's crying, confused, or afraid. A man who doesn't dismiss her feelings, but doesn't get drowned in them either. That balance is rare. That balance is powerful. Emotional maturity says, I am not perfect, but I am grounded. I don't run from hard conversations. I don't break when life gets heavy. I can carry myself, and I can carry you too. Young men, if you want to stand out, learn this. Your ability to regulate your emotions will take you further than any outfit, car, or Instagram flex, because a mature spirit is unforgettable. There's something magnetic about a man who knows where he's going. He may not be the richest. He may not be the strongest. He may not even be the most handsome in the room. But if he walks with direction, with clarity, with a fire in his eyes that says, I know why I'm here, people feel it. And women, they are deeply drawn to it. See, younger women often gravitate toward older men because older men usually carry a sense of purpose. They've lived long enough to filter through distractions, to let go of childish dreams, and to focus on what truly matters. Purpose brings structure, and structure creates attraction. A man with purpose doesn't stumble around like life is one endless party. He wakes up with intention. He speaks with conviction. He plans with vision. Now, contrast that with many young men today, scrolling endlessly, chasing every trend, living for the weekend. When a woman sees a man without direction, she sees instability. She sees someone who could pull her into uncertainty rather than lift her into security. No woman wants to follow a man who doesn't know where he's going. But here's the key: you don't have to wait until your 40s or 50s to find purpose. Purpose is not discovered. It is built. It comes when you decide to take responsibility for your life, when you set goals that matter, when you commit to something greater than yourself. Purpose could be your career, your craft, your calling, or your mission to impact others. What matters is that it anchors you. And the beauty of purpose is this: it makes everything else align. It gives your confidence depth. It makes your presence stronger. It keeps you from being easily distracted. Women notice a man who isn't swayed by every shiny thing that passes by. They notice the discipline, the focus, the fire that only a man with vision carries. Understand this: purpose transforms attraction. A man with purpose doesn't chase women. He builds his path, and women are drawn to walk alongside him. That's not manipulation. It's leadership. And leadership is irresistible. So, young man, find your why. Because once you live from that place, you'll stop competing for attention. Instead, you'll become the kind of man who naturally commands it. Confidence is one of the most attractive qualities a man can carry. But let's be clear: real confidence is not loud, and it's not fake bravado. It's not walking into a room and demanding everyone's attention. It's not bragging, flexing, or shouting the loudest. True confidence is quiet. It's steady. It's the calm assurance that says, I know who I am, and I don't need your validation to prove it. This is why many younger women are drawn to older men. Older men have lived. They've made mistakes. They've faced setbacks. They've won some battles and lost others. And through it all, they've learned they will survive. That experience builds a certain unshakable confidence. They don't need to chase approval because they've already faced rejection and come out stronger. They don't need to pretend because they're comfortable in their own skin. Now, here's the truth most young men miss. You don't need to wait until you're 50 or 60 to carry that same confidence. Confidence isn't about age. It's about experience, yes, but more importantly, it's about how you respond to your experiences. Do you run from challenges, or do you face them? Do you avoid responsibility, or do you step into it? Every time you face life head on, you build confidence. Think about it: when you make a promise and keep it, when your confidence grows. When you push through fear, instead of shrinking back, your confidence grows. When you look failure in the eye and say, "This won't define me," your confidence grows. Confidence is built brick by brick through actions, not words. And women can sense the difference immediately. A man faking confidence comes across as arrogant, insecure, or desperate. But a man with genuine confidence, he carries an aura of peace. He doesn't need to chase, he attracts. He doesn't need to boast. His presence speaks louder than words. Young men understand this confidence is not given, it is forged. Every challenge you conquer, every promise you keep, every fear you face adds to that quiet strength. And that strength is magnetic. So stop trying to look confident. Start becoming confident. Build it through experience. Because once you do, you'll walk into any room and women will feel it. The unspoken certainty that only a man who trusts himself can radiate. When most men hear the word provision, they immediately think about money, a bigger bank account, a better car, a flashier lifestyle. And while financial stability is undeniably important, here's the reality: provision goes far deeper than a paycheck. Many young men are confused because they believe women only want money. But the truth is, women are drawn to men who provide more than material things. See, older men often understand this. They don't just provide financially, they provide peace. They provide wisdom. They provide guidance. They offer a sense of security that says, no matter what happens, I can handle it. And that, more than just money, is what makes younger women feel safe in their presence. Because, let's be honest, money without character is dangerous. A man with wealth but no wisdom will destroy himself and everyone around him. A man with riches but no respect will buy attention, but never true love. Women know this, even if they don't always say it. What they long for is a man who can provide not just comfort, but also clarity. Not just luxury, but also leadership. And here's the truth: you don't need to be a millionaire to be a provider. Provision is about being intentional. It's about providing emotional safety by being consistent, by being trustworthy, by being a man of your word. It's about providing direction when life gets confusing, standing firm when things feel uncertain. It's about providing encouragement when she feels weak and hope when she feels lost. Women crave this kind of provision. When she's with a man who can provide beyond money, she feels anchored. She knows she can rest in his presence, not because he pays the bills, but because his spirit covers her in strength. That's why younger women often choose older men. They carry that covering. But young man, listen, you don't have to wait until you're old to give this. You can start now. Start by learning to lead yourself first through discipline, responsibility, and integrity. Because if you can provide stability for yourself, you will naturally provide it for others. Money may impress for a season, but a man who provides peace, wisdom, and strength, that man becomes unforgettable. One of the rarest and most magnetic qualities in a man is patience. In today's world, where everything is fast, fast money, fast food, fast relationships, patience feels almost ancient. But it is exactly what separates men who chase from men who attract. And this is why younger women often find themselves drawn to older men. Older men don't rush. They don't beg. They don't chase. They wait, and that patience creates an aura of power. See, young men often fall into the trap of desperation. They want everything now. They want instant results, instant validation, instant affection. So they bombard her with texts, push for commitment too soon, or crumble when things don't happen immediately. That impatience signals insecurity, and insecurity always repels. But patience signals strength. Patience says, I am not desperate because I know my worth. I don't need to chase you because what is meant for me will come. That quiet confidence is intoxicating to a woman because it communicates self-control. And self-control is a sign of true masculinity. Think about it: a patient man doesn't flinch when a woman tests him. He doesn't panic when she pulls back. He doesn't explode in anger when things take time. He waits, he observes, and he acts from a place of clarity, not panic. That's what makes him different. That's what makes him magnetic. And here's the good news. Patience is not about age. It's about discipline. You can start practicing it today. Patience in your work. Patience in your growth, patience in your relationships. Instead of rushing into the next distraction, slow down. Build yourself with intention. When you learn to master time instead of being mastered by it, you automatically elevate yourself above the crowd. Women are drawn to that aura because it feels safe. A man who is patient cannot be manipulated by emotions, trends, or temptations. He is grounded, measured, and strong. And in a world of chaos, that calmness feels like oxygen. Young men, listen carefully. Chasing is easy. Waiting takes strength. And if you learn the art of patience, you won't need to prove yourself. Your presence will already do the talking. That is the aura women cannot resist.